So you have your Roth IRA set up, or maybe you're thinking about setting up your Roth IRA in some time future, but you hate the thought of having your money locked up until retirement. You don't want to wait until you're 59 and a half to take out your Roth IRA. But the truth is, do you really need to wait that long? Most of us have the idea that we have to wait until retirement to take out of our Roth IRA. And while I don't recommend taking out early from your Roth IRA, knowing your options can actually reduce the barrier to get your Roth IRA set up and launched. But the real truth is, your money in your Roth IRA isn't as locked up as you think it is. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 secret Roth IRA benefits that you can use before retirement that no one really talks about. And we're diving into it right now. So recently, I was actually just chopping up with one of my friends. Since everybody's leaving California due to California exodus, he was actually thinking about purchasing a home. And he was deciding whether he should be using his Roth IRA or not. And so while he was doing his research, he sent me this article about 3 secret Roth IRA benefits you can use before retirement. And as I was reading the article, I knew some of these exceptions for Roth IRAs, but I didn't know all of them, which led me to think if I don't know all of them, chances are a lot of my viewers don't know about these as well. And so I want to break down these 3 things for you guys. But first, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kevin. I'm actually a YouTuber, former pharmacist, and millennial personal finance guide, not guru. And on this channel, I teach young professionals how to simplify investing, cut out the noise, and make investing fun again so you can build real passive income, automate your investments, and start being that kick-ass confident investor that you always knew you could be. And in today, we're going to break down the 3 secret Roth IRA benefits that you can use before retirement that no one else really talks about. Because like I said earlier, maybe you want to invest into your Roth IRA, but you don't want to feel like your money's locked up there forever. And hell, maybe that's the exact reason why you're not investing in your Roth IRA, because you feel like you won't be able to see that money in 10, 20, 30 plus years. But don't feel this way. Believe it or not, there's something called qualified distributions where you can take out from your Roth IRA without penalty. For example, did you know that you can buy your first home with a Roth IRA as well? So it's easy to fall into a trap just believing that a Roth IRA is just limited to retirement. After all, you've probably been told that you can contribute money that you have already paid taxes for, grow your investments through the power of compound interest, and withdrawing your earnings 100% tax-free after you reach 59 and a half. And that's the only way you can make money or use your Roth IRA. But like I said, there are certain exceptions that allow you to use it before retirement as well. Now, do I recommend you doing this? Not necessarily, but we're going to be breaking down some of those factors that you should be considering as well if you're doing this. The problem is no one talks about these secret or qualified distributions of a Roth IRA. I mean, it's not really dinner talk at the table either. So if you're not maxing out on your Roth IRA because it feels like you won't be seeing your money in a while, or you want to know your options just in case of a zombie apocalypse, hey, I'm here to help, so let's dive into it. Secret number 1, you can withdraw contributions anytime that you want. So when I first started, my uncle always told me to just leave my Roth IRA alone. But what my uncle didn't tell me about was that there's 2 components of a Roth IRA. There are the contributions and earnings as well. Contributions is the money that you put in. Earnings is the profit that you make with those contributions that you put in as well. So most people don't have any idea that you can actually take out from your contributions. But on the other hand, you get penalized if you take out from the earnings from your Roth IRA if you're eligible. So inherently, this builds in some flexibility in your Roth IRA for those people that don't want all their money tied up. So let's say you contribute $6,000 to your Roth IRA and your investments grow to $10,000, for example. $4K would be considered the earnings on your account. So if you take out from your earnings, then you'll trigger taxes and penalties, which kind of sucks. But that $6K that you actually put in, you can take out whenever you want. Now, obviously laws can change, so make sure to check with your brokerage company whether you can do that, or ideally the IRS website if you want to go through all that, but that is an option for you. So this is one way where you don't have to wait till you're 59 and a half to withdraw. You can actually take out from your contributions without paying penalties or taxes. But keep in mind, once you take this money out, you can't put it back in replacements of your funds because there's still annual contribution limits as well. So keep that in mind. The secret number 2, you can fund your education. Now, this is the one I actually didn't know. Did you know that a Roth IRA can be used to fund your education or a loved one's education and their college tab? This is actually a great option if you have a healthy portfolio already and you have some spare cash for qualified education expenses as well. Normally, if you withdraw from your account, you get a penalty. But if you use your Roth IRA funds to pay for things like qualified education expenses, so these include tuition, books, fees, supplies, you can actually skip the penalty. So if you want to take advantage of this Roth IRA benefit, start stashing away as much money as you can until you hit the contribution limit. All right, secret number 3. I mentioned this earlier, but you can actually purchase your first home with this. All right, so this was the one that my friend was consider taking advantage of and using. So one of the best kept secrets is homeowner's exception. It comes in handy when you're trying to purchase a home and you don't have enough for savings to take the next step. So if you have a Roth IRA, you can actually use up to $10,000 of your earning, that's a lifetime limit, that you can use to build, rebuild, or buy a home without penalty or paying tax on those earnings. But keep in mind, there's something called a 5-year rule with the Roth IRA. So this 5-year rule means that you have to wait 5 years after your first contribution to withdraw your earnings tax-free. So it's better to start sooner rather than later as well. And there's also, if you're doing a inherited IRA or Roth conversions or anything like that, there's some more exceptions that you have to keep in mind, but that's for another video. The major catch though behind this exception or the secret is that you have to be a first-time home buyer, which basically means you haven't owned a home within the last 2 years. So pretty cool, right? Keep in mind that $10,000 exception is for homeowners. So keep in mind that $10,000 that we're talking about is on the earnings part, not the contributions part. So let's say if you've contributed $40K over the last 10 years, you can actually take the whole $40K and use that $10K of earnings for the exemption amount as well. But this leads me to a really great point. Should you be taking out of your Roth IRA? In my opinion, I wouldn't do this exactly because there's no real way to play catch up with your Roth IRA. But I would say psychologically, if a zombie apocalypse happens, it helps you get over the barrier of investing money into your Roth IRA. You can go with the feeling of not feeling like your money is locked up, and you can max out your Roth IRA without feeling restricted. Instead of thinking about this as a retirement account, this is actually one of the hottest accounts because it allows you to pretty much use it as a flexible savings option for your current needs while building a portfolio of funds that will help you retire into your rich lifestyle as well. So let me ask you, are you going to use any of these benefits? Are you planning to use any of these benefits? Let me know in the comments. So chances are, if you're interested in this video and you haven't started your Roth IRA quite yet, the first step you need to do is pick your brokerage account, which is basically your investing bank account. So if you need help, you'll probably like my video on, hey, where to start your Roth IRA. I'll link it in the cards as well. If you're looking to start your Roth IRA from the complete beginning, make sure to check out my free masterclass to show you how to build, optimize, and automate your Roth IRA and just over the weekend. I'll put the link in below as well. And finally, what videos do you want to see next on this channel? Leave a comment. Anyways, thank you for watching. Stay bold, stay kick-ass. Peace.